called the Atumia and Nzama. Their culture is rhythmic. The Musyo, Kilume, and the Kilala dancers are not just entertainment. They are communal rituals. When the drums start to hit, it is the heartbeat of the village. The dance is characterized by energetic, rhythmic torso movements that reflect the vitality of their ancestors. The story of the Akamba begins long before they settled in the arid plains of Machacos, Kitui, and Makoeni. In the South American nation of Paraguay, there exists a unique community known as the Kamba. Over 2 centuries, this community has kept their identity alive. Have you had a taste of mudokoi? Yummy! A traditional dish of maize, often mixed with beans, humble grounding meal that reminds every Kamba of the value of the harvest and the importance of sharing a meal. The Akamba were world-renowned for their wood carvings. Every voice has a story, and every story has a home. We bridge the gap between where we are now and the ancient wisdom that shaped us. I am your host, Wia, and today we're traveling through time and across the rugged, beautiful landscape of eastern Kenya to uncover the heart of the Kamba people, the Akamba. Settle in, because this is a story of resilience, artistry, and deep, unbreakable connection to the land. The story of the Akamba begins long before they settled in the arid plains of Machacos, Kitui, and Makoeni. Oral tradition suggests that the Kamba originated from the area around Mount Kenya and the Taita Hills, migrating southwards as part of the broader Bantu migration. Centuries ago, the Akamba traveled in small, resilient clans. They were not just farmers, they were the great explorers and master traders of East Africa. Because they inhabited land that could be unforgivingly dry, they learned early on that survival depended on movement and commerce. They famously established trade routes that linked the coastal Swahili merchants with the interior tribes of Kenya, carrying ivory, honey, and precious medicinal herbs across hundreds of miles in the wilderness. To understand the Akamba, you must understand the spirit, blend of fierce independence and profound hospitality. The Akamba were world-renowned for their wood carvings. This tradition was perfected by generations of artisans who turned raw mahogany, ebony, and olive wood in intricate sculptures that tell stories of family, wildlife, and daily life. Their culture is rhythmic. The Musyo, Kilume, and the Kilala dancers are not just entertainment. They are communal rituals. When the drums start to hit, it is the heartbeat of the village. The dance is characterized by energetic, rhythmic torso movements that reflect the vitality of their ancestors. Central to their social fabric in the concept of Utu, humanity and togetherness. Decisions are traditionally made by council of elders called the Atumia and Nzama, who ensures that justice and harmony are maintained. In Kamba culture, a person is never truly alone. They are a link in a long chain of ancestors and future generations. You cannot talk about the Akamba without mentioning mudokoi, a traditional dish of maize and has been husked and boiled, often mixed with beans, humble grounding meal that reminds every Kamba of the value of the harvest and the importance of sharing a meal with one's neighbors. Have you had a taste of mudokoi? Yummy! The Akamba people are often described as the survivalists of plains. Their history is one of adapting the droughts, navigating complex trade networks, and maintaining a vibrant cultural identity in the face of change. They have brought the world that you do not need to be the loudest voice in the room to be heard. You only need to be most resilient and most creative and the most connected to your community. The strength of their Kamba isn't just in their history, but in the way they continue to honor their roots while carving a path into the future, one beautiful hand-carved piece of wood and one story at a time. Kambas are people whose journey is as expansive as the trend routes they once mastered. Whether you're listening from Nairobi or across the ocean, today's story is about how a single community can leave an imprint on the areas they settle in. You have heard whispers of connections to the Americans, and it is true. In the South American nation of Paraguay, there exists a unique community known as the Kamba. Over 2 centuries, this community has kept their identity alive. Today, the Kamba are celebrated for preserving their African heritage. The 1938 resistance, long before armed struggle for uhuru, the Kamba led a landmark nonviolent movement against colonial overreach. When the British colonial government attempted to seize their livestock through mandatory destocking policies, leaders like Muindi Bingu led a peaceful protest. By marching and petitioning in Nairobi, they forced the colonial government to back down, proving that the Kamba could challenge imperial power through unity and organization. During the colonial era, many Kambas were recruited into the king's African reforms. While they were often stereotyped by the British as a martial race, the Akamba themselves took great pride in their discipline and bravery. These soldiers, upon returning from the World War, brought down a new belief about their rights, which became a foundational element in the intellectual and political push for Kenyan independence. Do you know, to step into Kamba culture is to experience a world where hospitality, artistry, and wisdom are the currencies of life. Traditionally, they believe in Mulungu, a creator god with many ancient tales, centering on the rock of Nzaoni, where the first footprints of humanity are said to be etched into the earth. The Akamba have a profound respect for their elders, the Atumia, whose guidance keeps the social fabric tightly knit. The story of the Akamba is a reminder that culture is not a stationary thing, it is a traveler. It is the wisdom of the elders under acacia tree, the rhythm of a drum in a Paraguay village, and the undying refusal to be broken by the pressures of the history. As we wrap up today's journey, think about your own roots. Like the Kamba, we are all products of migrations, struggles, and enduring need to belong. We may be separated by oceans, but we are all, in our own way, carrying the stories of our ancestors forward. Thank you for walking this path with me today. Keep your roots strong and keep telling your story. Thank you for listening to this journey into the heart of the Kamba culture. Which part of history would you want me to go into next? Please feel free to share your culture with me. I'll air all the stories here on Unlocking Memories, as I've been free to share to you my culture. Give your reviews on the comment section, and if you have a story, please write it on the number on the screen. See you on the next episode, guys. Bye bye.